Why is this one of the most popular mechanical keyboards of the year? Let's find out. In this video, we're going to cover everything about the Lucky65, and we're going to build one from scratch. The Lucky65 is available for $80, which is an extremely competitive price for a CNC'd aluminum keyboard with a back weight. But keep in mind that price is only for the keyboard base, and you will have to buy the switches and keycaps separately. This keyboard uses an FR4 plate, and it comes pre-assembled with lubed stabilizers and internal foam, so you don't need to mod your keyboard any further unless you want to experiment with more advanced modifications. If you do wish to take a peek inside, the top and bottom have a screwless design, so to disassemble the case, you simply pop it open. Again, you probably won't need to do this unless you've got a specific mod in mind. For our build, we're going to use Salmon Tactile switches and Pumpkin PBT keycaps from Kinetic Labs. Remember to keep an eye on your switch pins when installing switches. If a pin is bent, the key will not register properly. Also, a quirk of the spacebar is that you insert the switch north-facing as shown here. All the other switches face south. Be very careful not to try to insert the spacebar in the south position, as that could cause damage to the keyboard. Now we have three options for connecting our keyboard: wired via USB-C, wireless via Bluetooth, and 2.4 GHz using a receiver hidden in the back. Side note, this keyboard uses a battery with 3750 mAh, which means you'll be recharging your keyboard around once a week when you use it daily. Something that's a little awkward about this keyboard is switching between modes. You'll have to remove the tab and push this little switch upward for wireless mode and down for wired mode. For Bluetooth, press and hold function plus Q to pair. For 2.4 GHz, hold function plus R to pair. Lastly, if you want to switch back to wired mode, remember to press and briefly hold function plus T. Otherwise, your keys are not going to register when you try connecting. One more thing I wanted to mention is that while your keyboard is plugged in, you'll notice this key flashing to indicate that the keyboard is charging. It's a little clunky, but once you get used to it, it's not so bad. Once you're connected, your RGB should be on full blast. If that's not your style, press function plus backspace to turn off RGB. And take a look at the manual linked on the Kinetic Labs product page for other shortcuts to control your RGB. One of the first things you'll notice when typing is a nice bounciness due to the gasket mounting system. If you're like me, one of the first things you'll want to do is remap certain keys and layers. We can use the VIA configurator to do so. Make sure you're using your board in wired mode. Then head over to the Kinetic Labs product page to download the latest VIA JSON file. Head to usevia.app, enable the design tab in the settings page, upload your JSON file in the design tab, give the app permissions to your keyboard, and you should see a screen with Lucky65 in the top right like this. Personally, I always map caps lock to layer 1, and in layer 1 I map H, J, K, L to left, down, up, right respectively, also known as Vim keys for all my fellow programmers out there. Now it's perfect. Let's end things with a sound test, and if you have any questions at all about this keyboard, let me know in the comments.